So how to run profitable ads as an online coach, and this is gonna be a guide for complete dummies. So if you have no clue what you're doing, starting from ground zero, you've been kind of messing with ads, launch some stuff up, not making any money, not getting any leads, no calls booked, or if you're just brand new and you want to know the guide to actually start, or if you're failing miserably, any of those situations, it's going to apply exactly to you. I've gone from obviously testing a ton of ads, making $0 to breaking even, and now month to date, just current stats. This is, of course, as of the time of me making this video, we have a 3.25 cash collected ROAS, meaning for every $1 we've put in, we've made $3.25 back, and this is a cash collected. So we've already made that money back. We don't have to wait for a revenue or payment plans or anything like that. That's what we've made just month to date in cash collected right now. So here's the step-by-step process I follow to get ads profitable. We've also done this with probably by now multiple dozens of coaches that we work with to help them get their ads profitable. So this is what we do. So let me go ahead and just unblur all this, because the process is it's pretty simple once you actually conceptualize why we do it this way. So it's all about getting the dollar across the line. So if you think about it, before I go into this stuff, all we want to do here to actually get any funnel profitable is, number one, you need leads. All right, so we need to convert attention into leads. Then from a lead, they need to book call. Then from book call, they need to show up, and they need to pay us money. All right, these are the steps, 5 steps right here. Get their attention first, then they have interest, so they convert into a lead, then they book call, then they show up and they pay us money. So it's getting the dollar across the line. That's what I mean by that, is every single, you just have to optimize step by step to get to the final step of them actually, whooping out their credit card and paying money. So the first step that we actually start with is getting a solid cost per lead here. That's what that stands for, cost per lead. So for us, for example, first when we first ran ads, we were getting cost per lead was $60 to $70 cost per lead, which is quite high. Now it's $30. All right, so significant, obviously cut that over in half now. And the reason being is we just focus on this for a while. We focus on optimizing the ad and the opt-in page. That's the stimuli that's going to get a good cost per lead to this stuff. All right, so if your cost per lead is super high, or it's just unqualified leads as well, then you focus on this stuff. And so you just fiddle with this. You just do, for all of this, all I'm doing is the scientific method. All right, so what that looks like is we test something, then we isolate. Oops, I messed this up actually. So we're going to test something, and then we're going to observe metrics. So this is basically looking at different metrics. So for example, if we're getting a ton of clicks, but on the opt-in page there's a ton of drop off. For example, we're getting super cheap cost per clicks on the ad, but then we're getting all these people to go to the opt-in page and no one's actually opting in. That's probably okay. There's probably a breakdown here. Maybe there's incongruency. Maybe this is just bad. The messaging is bad. The copy is bad. So we observe metrics, identify constraint, and then change variable, and run new test. And you just repeat this. This is a scientific method. So this is literally what we do every step of the funnel. So when you're at step 1, trying to get a good cost per lead, all right, you're gonna basically fiddle with the stuff, test something, observe the metrics, so see, okay, of these two things, where's the drop off? Is it we're not getting any clicks, or is it we're not getting people to opt in once they do click? Then from there you just test. All right, if you're fiddling with the opt-in page, by the way, you're probably just gonna be changing the headline, the highest impact things. The ad, you're gonna be really messing with the hook of the ad. All right, what are you saying first? That's gonna be the most important things, by the way. All right, but that's what you do. You follow the scientific method, and then you get this click. All right, so we got to a point where, okay, we're starting to get a good cost per lead. Then the next thing we focus on is getting a solid cost per call. All right, so how much are we paying per call on average? All right, so this is, again, what are we doing here to do this? We need to optimize the VSL. So when someone opts in, what's the next thing they see is our VSL, our video sales letter. Just a video basically having them, hey, if you want this stuff, book a call. That's what the VSL is. Obviously in a much sexier way, but that's what it is. We also optimize the email sequence. All right, everyone who opts in, they get in the email sequence. We're also optimizing the setter sequence. This is huge. All right, we did this right, and this literally doubled the call bookings when we do this right. So this is a huge one. Or if you don't have a setter sequence, if you don't have someone texting and dialing leads, do this ASAP. Just doing that is insane, absurd. So that's huge right there. And then also everything upstream here. So if there's some incongruency here, if the VSL does not match the ad or something, or the opt-in page, there's incongruency. That can be a big reason why can be a big drop off. So again, that's also something you need to think about. This is a whole system. So even if this metric is good, this one could be crap. It could be doo-doo because of the ad and the opt-in page aren't congruent with this stuff. So you need that congruency as well. But that's what we're basically doing here. So we've got a good cost per lead. And then at that point, we want a good cost per call. So we're fiddling with this stuff until we get a good cost per call. All right. And so we did this. And again, we got a good cost per call. Right now, our book calls for like $100, which is very, very good, especially for our industry and niche. So we have that. All right. Last step. What do we want here? We want to solve CAC, which is client acquisition cost. All right. How much does it cost us to acquire a client? All right. So we're fiddling with the last stuff here, the confirmation page. All right. We want people to be primed for the call. Our pre-call priming process. What content are they consuming before the call to prime them to overcome objections, to build trust, to do all this stuff. Pre-call reminder, just to make sure they actually show up to the call. Do they know exactly like what to do to show up to the call? And then of course the sales process. So this is huge. The pitch, the discovery, how you overcome objections on the call, all that good stuff. Huge. All right. So this is really the process. Just fiddle with it step by step until you nail this. Like that is a process. One of the biggest mistakes I see is this is usually for people who are, they just expect ads to work instantly for some reason. Like they just like, put a bunch of stuff together, their whole funnel, and they throw it up. And then some part of the funnel is broken. And then they give up. They're like, oh, paid ads doesn't work. But they didn't follow the process. Like this is the process to get paid ads to work. You need to like move the dollar across the line step by step. All right. So they might have a good cost per lead, but then like just like this is broken. Like this sucks. Like their VSL page, they don't have a setter sequence. Like this stuff sucks. But they don't fix it. You just have to fix it and keep fiddling until you get that part to click. And then you move to the next part. Or you might just have a broken sales process. You might just have a terrible pre-call priming process. Like if your show rate's just really bad, but everything else is good. Okay, again, it's just like you're moving the dollar across the line. It doesn't mean like the whole thing is broken. It means part of it is broken. And you need to fix it. All right, this is the process. Like it took me a lot of money to learn this, but it's quite kind of simple when you really think about it. Like it makes so much sense when you really realize this. Like you just have to move the dollar across the line. You have to keep testing, fiddling, depending on what step you're at in the process. So apply this to your paid ads. It should really work wonders for you. If you do want us to just plug in our paid ads funnel that we already tested with all these online coaches and it's working quite well, go ahead and click the link below if you want more information on this. And you can actually opt into my funnel and see like how we do things. But go ahead and click the link below if you are interested. We can book a call with our team, see if it's a good fit, but we'll help you install this paid ads funnel into your business so you can consistently sign clients at scale. So that's the video. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.